Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
It's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy, hey, my brewing brothers and sisters.
It's Cretan. How's it going?
All right. One of those days.
Yep. A little bit of an odyssey getting here tonight.
Yes. Well, and, when I said follow me,
yeah,
and we'll go to the show.
Yeah, I'm used to being tight on your ass, but tonight it was a little harder.
My ass, or
no, there was competition
for being tight on my ass.
Yes, so I got and I'm always too polite, so I ended up
you're
a little further back in the pack.
Too polite a driver.
Yeah,
no, I've ridden with you. don't give me that load of crap. I think the two times I've wet myself riding in a car with somebody were both with you.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be the first time. Yeah. Other people, yeah. But and that was fine. I mean, it was just traffic getting in my way, and then
cars getting in your way. You experience that every once in a while.
I mean, I set the cruise control in 85, and I could have been right there, and
they're just in your way.
Yeah,
bastards. I don't know why they're so impolite.
Yeah, and and I asked for the plaque out front, the parking spot for me reserved, and it's still not there. I mean, I had to circle the building, 4 or 5 times. You had to
park almost 20, 30 feet away.
I think it's more like 45.
Oh wow! Yeah, that is a hassle.
And then of course,
we're stars here. Yeah, we're treated like commoners.
And then the lease sign out front threw me off as I walked by the building, so I had to double back. And
Palmer, that's not my fault. I paid the homeless guy to paint your name on the spot, and I gave him all the paint.
And he huffed it all.
Yeah, I found him laying in your spot with a bunch of empty cans of spray paint. And no paint on the ground. So I tried, dude.
I appreciate that.
It's a reflection of the neighborhood, unfortunately. So next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Oh,
cool.
Sure.
Looking forward to that.
That's always next time. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be back in the studio. I've been suffering somewhat with the new brewery build out.
Yeah.
Probably have a stroke sometime before it's done. I probably have a stroke. I may be experiencing a stroke now. I have intense head pain, and I think it's either like a sinus headache or stroke.
Or walking into the forks of your new forklift.
Yes. Yeah, we were late because we had to wait for the delivery of the forklift, which I was supposed to get like 3 weeks ago, but these idiots just could not deliver the forklift, so...
Yeah, it took me coming by.
Right, it took Palmer. I had to bring Palmer by, and then it got delivered.
Yeah.
Yes. And we got Scott here, and he's very quiet. He's observing.
Well, we
don't want to disturb him.
Well, now that you've called me quiet, I don't want to speak.
I know. Yeah. Right. Now, Scott's manning the show here. He's orchestrating the whole thing for us now.
I'm the man. I'm a man among men. But not in a gay way, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not in a gay way.
Yeah.
It's how we always have to kind of like shake it off at the end of the show.
Not gay.
Not gay, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, today we're going to do a live Q&A show, right?
That's right. Yeah, I understand we have lots of eager listeners waiting to throw more topics at us. And
2 or 3 at least.
Yeah.
Usually. And then, people write in these questions. They email them brewstrong@thebrewingnetwork.com. And the people that put Q&A question or question for Brew Strong, those are getting answered first.
Yeah.
All the ones where it's like some random subject matter, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or hello, darling.
Yeah.
Or business inquiry.
Yeah, business inquiry here. Yeah. I read all those. Gmail, it shows you the first few words of when it was. I go through my spam folder and I read all those to my wife and crack her up. She enjoys it. I'm like, yeah, somebody wants me to... Anyways, so we're doing that, and so Blickman, huh?
Yeah, hey.
Blickman, how's that for a segue? You can tell I'm just worn out. I am worn out already. Our fine sponsor, Blickman Engineering.
Yes.
Blickman with 2 N's. Mm-hmm. Engineering with like a G or 2.
And 2 E's. Yeah.
And a Z and an F.
Mm-hmm.
BlickmanEngineering.com. Go check them out. They come up with all sorts of innovative equipment. They're always engineering some new miracle to make your brew day happier, more consistent, easier,
more efficient. Innovating your brew day.
Innovating your brew day, as JP always likes to say, which I think is a great tagline. Blickman Engineering, innovating your brew day.
I think sometime this upcoming year we're gonna be heading out to Indiana.
Are we?
I think. I believe that was.
We agreed to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we were drinking a lot. We thought it was a good idea.
Yep.
While we were drinking, and
got it tattooed on my shoulder. So.
and Blickman was here.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we'll do it.
So that's
then I started building this new brewery.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why that's.
So we may just be sending JP in our stead.
Yes. We'll say, we said, John Palmer, JP, same thing. Yes. Okay. Well, if we're doing that, that's great. I look forward to going out to Indiana and firing off some weapons with Blickman and seeing the factory with the Amish or whoever works in the factory there.
Right. We'll put together some details and get back to you on that. But it should be.
You get back to me?
No.
You back to the listeners?
You and I will get back to the listeners, yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
there may be a contest involved.
We got a contest, the Brewing Network competition, brew kit competition, and they get some sort of winner. Apparently, a person's going to come out eventually and is going to stop by and brew with Chris and Warren.
Ah.
I might stop by.
That would be...
Say hello.
That'd be special, yeah.
Brewing with Chris and Warren, or me stopping by and saying hello?
I think that's 2 special things there.
That's very political of you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so check them out, BlickmanEngineering.com. They've been sponsoring the show for a long time. They pay for it so you don't have to. So the least you can do, go check out that good stuff and ask your brew shop why they don't have Blickman if they don't. And if they do, go Google it there because all the finest brew emporiums carry Blickman. All right. Why don't we jump right into a quick question right here, and we'll go from there. You want to take the first one?
Sure, I'll go first. This question comes to us from Michael Lessa, and he says, "I use Firm Cap S foam control in the brew kettle to reduce the chance of boil over. Is there any possibility that using it in the boil could also reduce head development and retention in the finished beer?"
I would think no.
No, because that's kind of what it's for.
It's actually improves head retention.
Yeah.
Improves, used in the fermenter, these anti-foams, they improve your bittering utilization. I think they do in the kettle, too.
Yeah. They keep a lot of the foaming down in the brew kettle. And while there's a theory that, all these proteins foam only once, I've heard dissenting opinions on that too from scientists, but
Bamforth says it, so I believe Bamforth.
Be that as it may, you keep an additional percentage of protein in the kettle. It doesn't foam out
Right.
And all that makes it into the final beer.
Mm-hmm.
The firm cap settles out meanwhile, and so it's not present in the beer.
Yeah, when I was homebrewing and first came across the firm cap and stuff, I guess it was more beer that originally kind of was breaking ground with that and turned me onto it. And I was like, oh no, I'm worried that's gonna mess up the head retention, something like that. But it actually does the opposite. You get improved head retention, like John's saying. The only other thing about it is it's like anti-gas medicines and things like that. There's a limit to how much you can consume because your liver has to filter it out, or your kidneys have to filter it out, or whatever. And if you have, your kidney has to filter it out. Too much can clog it up, and so there's a limit.
But that would be an excessive dosing.
There's an online. There's a maximum. Yeah. And there's a limit for being in beer or anything. And generally, commercially, you got to filter it out.
Okay.
Now, there are other kinds, like what we're using at Heretic is we're using an oil-based, a canola oil-based anti-foam. We use it in the fermenters. So we throw oil into the fermenters. But, it gets consumed up and doesn't, it actually helps with head retention, helps with, your bittering, helps with a lot of things. And we're able to fill our fermenters higher and thus make a little bit more beer.
Yep. I certainly haven't seen any loss of head retention in your beers. So
right. So shouldn't be an issue. I think, go for it. You should be happy. I think John and I are both convinced of that. Anyways, let's do this. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll get to more of your questions right after this.
For Blickman Engineering, think innovation, passion, quality, and customer service. Blickman gear is designed by brewers to give you a sense of pride in your equipment. At Blickman, they know what makes brewing a pain and build gear that makes it fun. Like the intuitive beer gun, a completely different approach to filling bottles. The Therminator Wort Chiller, a new take on a plate chiller that's sized for flow, performance, and the high groundwater temps homebrewers face every day. The Brewmometer, a brilliant weldless thermometer design with brewing parameters right on the dial. The Auto Sparge, ultimate simplicity for preventing an overflow or running your mash tun dry. And much more, like the modular top-tier brewing stand, conical fermenters, and their Boilermaker brew pots. With more cutting-edge equipment coming soon, keep up with the latest from Blickman at blickmanengineering.com and stay on the cutting edge.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamil and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam you in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Cut hours off your brewing sessions by using one of our 11 varieties of famous Williams malt extract. Our Williams Belgian Pale Extract is mashed with pure Belgian 2-row malt and a small percentage of Belgian wheat malt for an authentic Belgian character you just can't get from other extracts. Or check out our unique fermenters, 2.5-gallon kegs, paintball tank-based draft beer equipment, bottling aids, and much more. We even have our own line of precision hydrometers. Go to williamsbrewing.com to browse our vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time ship the same day. Brewing is easy. The Williams way.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
What'd you get? More brewing ingredients?
Yep. You know what I love about Brewmaster's Warehouse?
The $6.99 shipping?
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, the in-store classes for beginning brewers.
Yeah, that's cool, but...
Oh, the Brew Builder. Creating and saving your recipes online is awesome!
No, yes, but...
The cheese-making supplies.
No.
Oh, the wine-making supplies. Oh, the distilling equipment and liquor flavorings.
All that stuff is awesome, yes, but what I really love is that the guy who runs it is totally hot. And that Brew Builder software is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Brewmaster's Warehouse brings you flat rate shipping on great equipment and ingredients to make beer, wine, cheese, and spirits at brewmasterswarehouse.com. And if you're in Georgia, stop by Brewmaster's Warehouse Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. Visit brewmasterswarehouse.com today because it's totally hot.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong. Hey.
I'm thinking of walleye all of a sudden.
Let's go spray brew tattoo.
That's right.
Can you keep singing? That was Bong. Do that more.
So, I believe you have the next question there.
I do.
All right.
Darren asks, let's see, it was a long one. Hello, just want to start out saying thanks. Yeah. We're gonna keep having deals with equipment. So I started with the partial boils while doing kits. I have a 5-gallon pot, a 6-gallon plastic bucket fermenter, and a 6-gallon glass carboy. As I start to progress to doing full batches, I know my next purchase will be a larger brew pot. However, since my wife will not allow me to spend all of our income on brewing equipment, I am left purchasing a piece of equipment every couple of months. After I get the new brew pot, what should be my equipment roadmap look like? Pardon me. Jamil always talks about how important fermentation temperature control is, so should I go with a fridge freezer to take care of that, or would an immersion chiller be more important? In all the books and articles that I read, they always keep talking about all this great equipment and how it makes the brew day faster, easier, more repeatable. But none of them I have found describe the best progression of equipment to ensure that I buy equipment that is going to support my current level instead of help me further down the road. You know, we did a show at one point where we talked about what equipment you would get. Yeah. And I think we went with full wort boil. Yeah. Then I think we went with fermentation temperature control, or maybe we went with immersion chiller. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think we said the fridge next.
All right. Fermentation temperature control. Yeah. Right.
So you can, the Australians are kind of proving that you can get by without chilling. You can seal it up and no chill. Mm-hmm. And all the beers I've had that they say, yeah, this was done that way. They've been fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's, really, I guess, if you're going to no chill, you've got to make sure that your sanitation is good. Right. Because, you're taking one extra step out of there that increases your risk for for contamination growth. But yeah, fermentation temperature control I think is so key to having beer you like versus beer that's okay.
Well, that's the big difference I keep telling people between commercial brewing and homebrewing is that we've got fermentation temperature control. It tends to be about the biggest difference. From most people's. Otherwise, we're kind of limited on what we're doing. I mean, you can't chill the entire wort down quickly. You have to go through a plate heat exchanger. I mean, a lot of little things we're limited. We can't do what a home brewer can do. Mm-hmm. So we have less options. But temperature control, I would go with that.
So get like a chest freezer, or go to the thrift store and find a large fridge that someone's turned in. But once you got that,
fridge. I like the fridge. You can get them for free.
Yeah,
and then the chest freezer, you have to lift stuff in and out. I got a bad back.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Whereas if you have a shelf, you can kind of slide it, hug it to you without bending over.
Yeah,
I mean that's better.
Or just do a short jerk to get it in there. Yeah. But see, so
you're all dirty tonight, man. You're working blue. What's the matter with you?
Okay, but here's the plan for your wife. You buy, or you get
here's the plan for the wife.
Yeah, get the
short
fridge.
Jerk. Yes. Come up fast from behind.
And so you get the funds authorization for the larger piece of equipment.
Yes.
And then squirrel away a little bit on the side and get the copper coil that you need for the immersion chiller, and then just kind of build that on your own. Say, hey, look what I made for myself. Didn't cost anything. That way you can get both.
There you go. So Palmer says, screw your wife, get both. All right. Next one's yours, I guess.
Oh, okay. Here we have a delightful question from Peter Clements. And he says, Dear Brew Strong, I grew some Brewer's Gold hops just for fun, but have never used the hops before. What type of beers would work well with this hop? And I apologize for my my voice. Speaking of hops, I've been at a hops growers convention for the last few days, and somehow
drinking, partying.
Yeah, and somehow, I guess it's maybe the bidding for various hop lots or whatever, but my voice is shot. So, but I'm here.
Are you bidding for hop lots?
Maybe in my dreams. I don't know. But anyway, Brewer's Gold.
You're screaming out. Bite the pillow, and you want to scream so much. Yeah, Brewer's Gold, traditionally you'd say, British varieties of beers, English varieties of beers. But, once you grow them in your backyard, it doesn't matter where it comes from, it's going to taste different. Right. And it may or may not taste along the same lines. So, it's like a Cascade grown in Argentina or wherever, grown in Yakima. I mean, it's going to be completely different. So it depends a lot on the conditions. What I would do is, you can try the hop tea thing if you don't want to risk any beers, but I'd just make a regular old pale ale, real simple malt bill, and use a known hop for your bittering charge.
Right.
And then just throw in a bunch at the end.
For the aroma.
And see how it tastes, see how it turns out, and, have fun with it. And maybe the flavors and aromas that you're going to get out of that, you would say to yourself, oh my God, that would be really good in a Bock, or maybe it would be really good in a brown ale, maybe it would be great in a Belgian, who knows. So, let that be your guide. And I think, even, year to year, hops change dramatically for the professional growers. But I think that there's some consistency there. It's going to depend climate-wise, but, I think once you kind of dial this in, you'll have an idea what these hops are going to be good for.
Two things that I know about growing your own hops. When the hops are on the vine, they're as the year as the growing season progresses, they start drying out a bit, and the tips of the brackles, brachioles, anyway, the papery part of the cone, the tips will start to turn brown a little bit. They're drying out, and as they're doing this, the oils are increasing in the hop. So, you can monitor those, day to day, go up and smell the hop and see, when, it seems
the tip
to have...
is turning brown, smell it.
Yeah. Check the aroma, check the oil content, so you can leave it on the vine a little bit.
If it's a little spongy at the tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want it to be spongy.
Papery, yeah.
Papery, spongy.
Yeah, not soft.
Not too soft.
A little bit springy.
Turgid.
There you go. but not torpulent.
Yes.
So that was one.
So where were you
Leave it on
going?
the
Yes.
vine, and,
You're coming up with hop growing tips. He didn't ask for hop growing tips. He asked what.
Well, he grew these, so
yes, he's done with that part.
Oh, okay.
He
Now
wants
I
to
remember
brew
the
with
other
them.
thing. The other thing I learned today is that if you dry them, the hotter you dry them, trying for a short drying time versus a long drying time,
right? You drive off all the aromatics.
Not so much.
No?
Tom Nielsen and Val Peacock did a study with some Cascades and with some Citra, and one of their findings that they presented today was that the total oil content did not vary significantly between the two temperatures, the 130 and 150 degrees F. But what they did find was that the aroma character was different.
Right.
And the hops that had been dried that were closer to the bottom, closer to the heat source, and had dried faster had more of an onion garlic aroma to them than hops from, say, the top of the bale, further from the heat source. So they recommended that a little cooler, little longer drying cycle had a
prevents
better,
that oniony, garlicky. Well, and one other thing about the leaving the hops longer on the vine, the longer you leave them, I'm told, the more that onion and garlic kind of character builds up. So they leave them too long, they become much more oniony, garlicky.
That's true. So there's some trade-offs there.
Right. Okay. It's not what the guy asked if it's a question, but that's fine.
We try to deliver extra.
You want to show off what you learned today. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
That works for me.
I'm glad you feel that way.
You know what I feel good about?
What?
The AHA. I think
yes.
I
thought maybe it was that binder clipper you were holding. But okay.
I was going to put it on your brachiole there.
Yeah.
The AHA, great group. Don't forget to support the AHA. Don't forget
the American Homebrewers Association.
Right. We're going to be at the conference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unless maybe they turn me away at the door. I don't know.
Right. There you go.
I plan on being there.
All right. Next question. This comes from Kevin, and he asks about Campton tablets to dechlorinate. I've never liked doing the Campton tablet thing.
Oh, really?
I just, carbon filter. There you go. Take your time. Carbon filter. Done. Greetings from Cascadia. I was wondering what your feelings were about using Campton tablets to dechlorinate water. Well, I just said I really don't care for it, but I work at a homebrew shop where I teach a 3-hour extract class, and I'm not able to filter the water like I do at home for my all-grain batches. I use a quarter of a crushed Campton tablet per 5 gallons of cold tap water, which I heat up to 170 in my boiling pot, where it usually sits for about 30 minutes before I use it to rinse my specialty grains. Is this enough time?
Yeah.
I would also like to mention that I always recommend How to Brew to my students and customers. Thank you for spreading the good word.
See, this is a great guy. He's really, he asked a great question.
And his initials are DB, but his name's Kevin. That's weird. I bet you're probably doing more by heating the water up to 170 than you are throwing the Campton tablet in there.
Well, if it's chloramine, then heating the water up won't do anything. It'll still be there. If it's chlorine, then heating the water up will off-gas a lot of it. I've used Campton tablets, and I think they work great. It helps to crush them up, before you throw them in the water. They dissolve a little better, but basically, as soon as they've dissolved, 5 minutes go by, it's done.
Sure.
Or you can spend a good hour, filtering.
Hour.
Got to be slow, low flow on there.
Gallon a minute.
Yeah, to do that.
Carbon block filter. There you go. Well, yeah. There you go. I just never like you just crush the Campton tablet, you throw it in there, you stir it around, and then you use the water. You still see like the crushed Campton tablet on the bottom of the thing.
You got to stir a little bit. Just
you gotta get the razor blade out, the mirror, work this thing down to a fine powder.
Just take a pill. That's all you got to do.
You and your drug culture, man. I don't know what's wrong with you. I really don't. Well, why don't we do one more question?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's see. This guy's talking. Well, he's calling us gentlemen, but okay. Hey, gentlemen, what do you guys think about the use of glycerin or glycerol to increase mouthfeel and add sweetness? It is used for these purposes in winemaking. Keep up the great work.
That's because winemakers suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
basically,
you could.
You could.
But
why? I mean, I really can't think of a compelling reason why to use glycerin when you can achieve the same thing, a little more mouthfeel, a little more sweetness with a malt addition, especially malt addition. So
well, changes in mash temperature, yeast, things like that.
Yeah.
I guess if you had a beer that failed and you wanted to do something, maybe you could. I think most homebrewers, most professional brewers, they would look down upon you for doing that. Yeah. And, in brewing circles, it seems like, no, you don't want to use additives. The craft beer world, additives that are, using something like, it's better to use table sugar for a reason in homebrewing, in brewing than, adding something. Yeah, that would be.
I think it's really not necessary.
There's other ways to go about it, but maybe his question is, "Hey, I brewed this. It's turned out thin and kind of bitter." And then my question would be, "Why didn't you try it then?" Yeah. If that's the case, but I wouldn't plan on doing it that way.
Right. Even if he's an extract brewer, then steeping some specialty malts would accomplish the same thing in a more Reinheitsgebot sort of fashion.
Right. Yeah, and brewers, we tend to be more picky about that sort of thing than a lot of winemakers. And I think a lot of winemakers are kind of picky about that too.
Could be. I don't know.
All right, one more quick one here before we take a break. Zach. See, and Zach titled his subject of his email Q&A. See? Zach gets his question answered because he hit the Q&A there. Another person saying "gentlemen." Maybe they're trying to spell like
addressing these to Moscow.
Gentlemen or something. I don't know. Yeah, something crossed my mind recently when I overheard someone talking about plastics. I use Rubbermaid coolers for a mash lauter tun and a hot liquor tun. I preheat these by pouring about a gallon of boiling water into these and sealing it for about 5 minutes. Am I extracting anything from the plastic in the coolers that might be bad, i.e. give me cancer? Just curious. Well, I'm sure you are extracting plasticizers from the plastic.
Yeah.
Whether that gives you cancer, I don't know. I am not a cancerologist.
True.
Whatever they call it, cancer people.
Mm-hmm.
They have a name for it, and it's not cancerologist.
Oncology? No, that's something else.
No.
I don't know. I'm an engineer.
Scott's Googling.
Yeah, John was right. Oncologist.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the big brain on John.
It's not cancerologist.
Damn it, Captain! I'm an engineer, not a doctor.
I can edit Wikipedia to make you right, JZ, if you want.
There you go. It's a cancerologist. No. So you are extracting something from the plastic, and that's why plastic over time becomes brittle and loses its elasticity. The plasticizers get used up. Certain plastics are better than others depending on what's in them.
Yeah.
There was the whole thing with BPA in water bottles, and when you heat it up, you're extracting more of that. But there are different kind of food grade plastics and plastics that are good for working high heats. But a Rubbermaid container, who knows? I don't think that's really designed for
it's not
hot
specifically
beverages
dry,
and stuff.
Designed for hot beverages. But again, the statements that they're possible carcinogens are based on injecting rats with
they don't have the rats brew.
Yeah, that's right.
and then ferment it out and then consume as much as they can, because a lot of times what they find is certain things that are carrying over, and please, if you end up with cancer, don't hold me to this.
Right.
The fermentation process, a lot of the the trub formation in the kettle, all that tends to bind up certain types of organic molecules,
and metal molecules,
and they fall out. And then fermentation, again, the yeast tend to take up some of this stuff. May or may not be good for the yeast, but a lot of it doesn't make its way through to the final beer, especially if you let the beer drop bright. And you don't consume a lot of the yeast or break material or things like that from the beer.
Right.
And then drink in moderation. Don't drink like an idiot. And the alcohol is probably worse for you than the
little trace amounts of BPA.
Right. So it's the same thing with like using brass fittings and all that.
Right.
If they're not lead-free brass, how much lead's getting in. And I wouldn't give it to a child. But I wouldn't give alcohol to a child anyway. So if you're an old fart like me that's probably going to die of a stroke before the month is out, then I think you're probably good to go. Don't worry about it. But if you're young and healthy and got a life to live like Scott over here, then
hey, go
you might
get a new cooler.
You might get yourself a nice stainless steel ton. All right, let's do this. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have more of your questions after this.
Hi, I'm Jason Harris, the proud owner here at Keystone Homebrew Supply. We're thrilled to be entering our 20th year of supplying this great industry, and to show you, the Brewing Network Army, how much we appreciate your support, we're offering you 10% off your first order on our website, KeystoneHomebrew.com. Just use coupon code BNARMY at checkout, and I'll get your order out the same day. My goal at Keystone Homebrew Supply has always been to have a complete supply of everything a brewer could want. When you place your order online or when you come into our store, it's our goal to have everything on your list and more. One aspect of KeystoneHomebrew.com that we're really excited about is the ability to fulfill customers' exact grain bills. Do you hate to wait? Keystone Homebrew Supply can get your precious yeast and hops to you within just one day if you live between Connecticut and Virginia, and within 2 days east of the Mississippi. KeystoneHomebrew.com. Coupon code BNARMY. I'm Jason Harris, and I approve this message.
A vial of White Labs yeast is the key to your best beer. When you open a vial of White Labs yeast, you're giving your beer its best chance for a perfect fermentation. In addition to their already incredible variety of yeasts, White Labs is proud to announce WLP 90, San Diego's super yeast, now available year-round. WLP 90 is super clean, super fast fermenting, with low esters and has a neutral flavor and aroma profile. It's alcohol tolerant and highly flocculent. For more of the latest White Labs news, click over to whitelabs.com, where you can read reviews of yeast, learn in the lab section, and join the customer club. And if you should find yourself in San Diego, White Labs has a brand new training facility for craft brewers and home brewers alike. Whitelabs.com. Discover yeast, nutrients, enzymes, and more for commercial breweries, home brewers, and homebrew stores. White Labs. It's all in the vial.
Hi, I'm Jamil Zainasheff, and in addition to my work on the Brewing Network, I write the Style Profile column in every issue of Brew Your Own magazine.
Hi, I'm Sean Paxton, and when I'm not prepping for the Homebrewed Chef on the Brewing Network, you can find me writing articles on how to cook with your homebrew for Brew Your Own magazine.
Greetings, cretins. This is John Palmer, and when I'm not writing for Brew Your Own, I'm reading it.
John Palmer, Sean Paxton, Jamil Zainasheff. If you love listening to them on the Brewing Network, you'll love reading their articles, tips, and recipes in the pages of Brew Your Own magazine. Join Jamil, John, and Sean 8 times a year in Brew Your Own. And when you subscribe to BYO on the Brewing Network website, half of your subscription price goes right back to the BN to support great beer and food programming. So sign up for Brew Your Own magazine through the BN website today so you can listen and read your way to better homebrew.
I-10, huh? Getting tired of that same old handcrafted beverages day after day? Are you looking for something with more diversity than your normal beer? Fellow BN Army member Michael Fairbrother, owner of Moonlight Meadery, is reviving an entire beverage category. Mead!
The meads at Moonlight Meadery are all handcrafted from the finest honey on the market and are perfect for any occasion, like weddings, baby showers, or...
Excuse me? Mead is not your average girly drink, mister, and Moonlight Meads can be enjoyed anytime, anywhere. Football games with the guys.
Yeah!
Barbecues with the guys.
Yeah!
Operating power tools with the guys.
Yeah! Actually, sir, that's really dangerous.
Good point, son.
Next time you have something to celebrate or are just looking for a new tasting experience, pick up a bottle of mead from Moonlight Meadery. Now in 21 states, making over 60 varieties of mead from dry, semi-sweet to sweet.
Break out of that craft beer lull. Grab a bottle of Moonlight Mead. Can't find some? Then ask. No, make that demand some.
Yeah!
For nearly 15 years, homebrewers have been served by one place in Michigan where you can buy yourself a serial killer, Adventures in Homebrewing. Did you try all those great Michigan beers at the National Homebrewers Conference in San Diego? Adventures in Homebrewing delivered. Did you see a great false bottom in your buddy's cooler or brew kettle? Adventures in Homebrewing delivered that too. And did you see that great custom brew stand? Yep, Adventures in Homebrewing delivered. Since 1999, Adventures in Homebrewing in Taylor, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and online at homebrewing.org has been serving homebrewers from the right coast. Check out their innovative 2.5-gallon keg with metal handles, great homebrew kits, and the fully adjustable anodized aluminum serial killer grain mill. Visit them in Philly for the 2013 National Homebrew Conference. Not going to make it? Check out all the fun of Adventures in Homebrewing at homebrewing.org. For a limited time, coupon code BNetwork will slam 10% off your order. Join the adventure online at homebrewing.org. And don't forget to use coupon code BNetwork for a limited time.
Back to your hosts, Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. Putting the testicles in technical. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. Just having a rockin' time here. This stout from Anchor is not hurting one bit.
No, it's pretty nice. And, it's pretty strong, too.
Yeah. It's rocking. It's smooth and easy. Mm-hmm. Smooth and easy and rocking. You know who else is smooth and easy and rocking?
Our good friends at Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, if you go there for a limited time only, I mean, at least since I've been doing this show,
yeah,
a limited time only, you got AdamandEve.com, and you use the special offer code, what is it for this show?
JAMIL.
It's Jamil for this. Yeah, that's right. JAMIL for this one. And you use that offer code. You're going to buy one item, almost any one item. I haven't found an item that you don't get 50% off on. So you get 50% off of one item. You buy the one item. That's all you're doing.
Okay.
You're going to get free shipping. You're going to get a free extra gift.
All right.
You can get 3 free DVDs.
Yeah.
Adult DVDs.
Okay.
And not the crap from the bottom of the bin, stuff that you actually choose from. You get to choose from genres such as anal, amateur, Asian, big breasts, big butts, bisexual, chunky, co-eds, fetish, gay, interactive, POV, lesbian, MILFs, etc.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. And you can even shop from your mobile phone.
Oh, yes.
AdamandEve.com. And I think the mobile is madameve.com. If you want to go direct there, you can go to the site. It'll recognize your mobile.
That'd.com, wouldn't it?
M.AdamEve.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. It wouldn't be Madam
Eve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a pretty good site, too.
Yeah.
So check it out. You buy one item. You use the offer code Jamil, JAMIL.
That's right.
You're going to get one item half off. You're going to get, and once you buy one item and half off, they give you a whole bunch of crap for free. Shipping.
Yeah.
The extra gift. You get the 3 DVDs. You get a whole box of stuff for a little money. So go check it out. Good sponsor. They've been with us a long time.
Yeah.
And they get good products there and good service.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, whose turn is it?
I guess it's mine.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is from Matthew, anyway. And he says, "Hey, Brew Strong, I have a question about treating my brewing water for chlorines. I believe my water in Oakland contains chloramines, and I want to treat it with either Camden tablets or vitamin C. If I add either one to my wort during brew day, do I need to also treat my water that I use for rinsing and sanitizing post-fermentation? I guess what I'm asking is whether the Camden vitamin C tablets both survive through the fermentation process and react with any added chloramines before the chloramines harm the beer. Okay, well, interesting question.
Well, and all right, so a couple of things. One is, you need to treat all your water.
Right.
The other is...
There's no residual effect.
Yeah, the Camden tablets we know work. We're talking during the break. Vitamin C, and I've heard of vitamin C as an antioxidant, right? But one of the things you do with Camden tablets and with potassium metabisulfite is you acidify the water, and that then in turn drives off all this sulfur gas, and so. Sometimes you can use citric acid or something like that, and you acidify, and then you add the potassium metabisulfite, and off comes this horrible sulfur gas that will kill you. Mm-hmm. And that's how you treat the inside of wine barrels. Maybe that's where he's getting the vitamin C with citric acid or something, kind of a confusion there. Yeah. Or maybe people say to do that when you're treating the water. I've never really heard that.
I'm pretty sure that is misinformation.
Yes.
The vitamin C has no chloramine breakdown effect. Right. The potassium metabisulfite does, the Camden tablet does, and what it does is it generates some sulfate and chloride ions.
So don't put the Flintstones chewable in your water.
Right. I mean, it's
probably won't hurt anything.
It won't hurt. It's an antioxidant which can help take out any oxygen that you have going into fermentation, potentially. But
that's the theory. And I've also, I guess Papazian always throws in a little bit of cinnamon, a tiny little bit of cinnamon in each beer, and as an antioxidant. And then I guess it was Bamforth who was saying, that's a bunch of crap.
But it makes them feel good.
So it makes them feel good, so it's fine. So I think the vitamin C would, again, I think healthy fermentation is the way to solve any oxidative problems. All right, let's see here. Michael wrote, and he's got an abstract. What is the best method for brewing Pilsner-based recipes when your equipment doesn't facilitate 90-minute full volume boils? So he's got an abstract, he's got the question, he's got Mike's really on top of things here. Jamil and friends. See, you're my and friends. I've spent the last year brewing my way through brewing classic styles. What I've learned about beer style and brewing has grown immeasurably through this effort. One of the classes of recipes that I have generally avoided has been Pilsner-based recipes, mostly because I have a 30-quart pot and I can only really do 7 gallons. 60-minute boils. Any longer, and I would lose another half gallon to boil off. So my question is, how does one produce the best quality Pilsner-based beers when their equipment doesn't facilitate 90-minute full volume boils? I can think of more than a few approaches. Use a half gallon of top-off water post-boil. Suck it up and produce a half gallon less beer. Go for a continental European pale malt. Belgian Pale Ale malt or Fireman 2-row instead of Pilsner malt. Use Pilsner extract. Anything I haven't thought of. Thanks for your help. I listen to podcasts religiously, and I'm a devoted follower of the BN.
Well, we sympathize with his equipment issues.
Those with small equipment. We feel sorry for you.
Yes.
30-quart pot, and you can only do 7 gallons. Okay, so 30 quarts is 15.
7.5. Yeah.
It's like a 15-gallon pot, though, right?
No, it's 7.5.
No, 7.5. Yeah, that's right. Losing my mind. 7.5. Yeah. For me, I'd say suck it up and produce a half gallon less perfect beer.
Yeah.
Than make more not so perfect beer.
Right. Because end of boil dilution
Right.
Nah, that's gonna result in some oxidation down the road.
Right. Yeah, I think you could ease it in towards the end if you heated up some water, your half gallon, heat it up in a separate pot on the stove in the kitchen or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
You fire up you get it to boiling.
Yeah.
And then just ease that in towards the end. Do your full wort boil.
Sure. Okay.
Boil it down, and then just add it in towards the end. Boil it like another couple of minutes, and you should be good.
That's true.
Because you'll get all the effect of the boiling, and you'll have a little bit of
darkening
effect there. Darkening would be minor.
Yep.
Hop utilization will be not quite as great, but that's again extremely minor. I mean, you probably lose an IBU.
Yeah, it's probably
taste wise. Yeah. That'd be the way I'd do it. Just add get that water boiling, because you get it boiling, there's no oxygen in it, and then it's not going to all of a sudden start forming break material when you dump it in, and then just give it a few more minutes there in your brew kettle. I think you're good.
Cool. Yep.
There you are.
All right.
Problem solved.
All right.
Next question.
Well, we got another equipment issue here. Dip tube.
Is dip tube too short? He's got a short equipment.
Too long in this case, or it's maybe it's bent.
He's got a weird angle.
He says
left-hand thread.
He says, "Hey there, Brew Strong. I have a question about my corny keg and the dip tube. When I tighten the outpost the last eighth of a turn to make it snug, the dip tube rotates clockwise with it, coming in contact with the bottom of the keg and leaving a noticeable but light scrape because the dip tube is no longer pointed at the tiny well in the center. Should I be worried about a metallic off flavor because of this? I think that I notice a metallic flavor and aroma in my beers, particularly the dark malty ones, but I'm not completely sure."
Brew Tattoo's shaking his head no.
If so, what would I do to correct?
He works with crazy people, and he says, no, this person's crazy.
Yeah.
That's his clinical opinion, his expert opinion.
Mm-hmm. But he wonders if you should cut the dip tube or double it up with another O-ring to artificially shorten his dip tube. But he'd rather not cut his dip tube.
Right. So he sounds like he has a lot of the psychological problems that I have, except a little bit worse. So I also noticed that it's like, just putting a little mark there, and, but I let it go. I'm like,
very good.
Because, I taste the beer. I noticed that there is no problem with that. If you're getting a metallic taste, it's not from that.
No, it's not.
So rest assured that it's not that. And it's good that this person, who what's his name?
Matthew anyway.
So Matt, it's very good that you're being observant of every little detail of what's going on, because that's going to help you when it is something that matters. Noticing these things, it helps you really make better beer. But you got to know, sometimes that's not the issue. And the way you find out is by taste,
blind tasting. Triangle testing.
Right.
Yeah.
But good question, but a little weird. I think. There you go, Matt.
Signs you're obsessing over your hobby.
Yes, Brew Tattoo says you've got mental problems. All right. Speaking of mental problems, let's take a break. Pardon me. Okay. This high octane stout is getting to me. We'll take a short break. We'll do a couple more questions. Maybe we'll check the chat room and see if there's any questions there. They may or may not. I mean, who knows if anybody's listening live? Probably not.
We'll take questions from Brew Tattoo.
Yes. All right. But they probably won't be brewing related. All right. So let's do this. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back after this.
Hey, Jack, what you doing? Playing Warcraft?
No way. It's TBG time, buddy.
TBG?
Get with it. I'm playing that brewery game.
What brewery game?
No, that's the name of the site. ThatBreweryGame.com.
What?
Yeah, check it out, man.
If you've ever brewed beer in your dreams or wish you could mash in right from your desk at work, you can. Kind of. With That Brewery Game. You can brew up a great batch of beer from anywhere virtually. Then you can sell it, because in That Brewery Game, it's legal to sell your beer to the public, create recipes, brew virtually, upgrade your equipment, upload labels, and test market your brand at thatbrewerygame.com.
You still slinging pissed off birds into buildings from your phone? Forget that. Try making beer.
Sweet.
Register right now for your free account at thatbrewerygame.com. Brew, drink, play. thatbrewerygame.com.
BN Army, HopTech has a great discount waiting for you. Do you often find it difficult to find specific specialty ingredients for your homebrew recipes? Well, listen to this. HopTech stocks 59 different grains to choose from, 39 varieties of pellet hops, and 8 kinds of whole leaf hops. And HopTech not only carries Y yeast and White Labs yeast for you, but also Fermentus, 04, 5, 6, 23, 33, and T58 Belgian yeast, plus Cooper's, Nottingham, and Windsor yeasts. Got your recipe ready to go? Pick up some great brew gear like new long and short sleeved shirts, games, and more. HopTech's new website is being updated every day with new items. If you don't see it, call the shop. They're open 6 days a week. BN Army and AHA members get a 10% discount, and active military personnel get 15% off. Visit HopTech.com today for great selection, great service, and a great discount. HopTech.com.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states. Plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy f***ing shit!
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Brewers Publications is thrilled to announce the release of For the Love of Hops, a practical guide to aroma, bitterness, and the culture of hops by Stan Hieronymus. For the Love of Hops is a resource for brewers of all experience levels. It explains the nature of hops, their origins, and how brewers can really maximize their positive attributes throughout the brewing process. Ken Grossman from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company says,
"This book is an amazing compendium on the hop, written at a level of detail that will captivate historians, chemists, and brewers alike."
For the Love of Hops is available now from Brewers Publications at brewerspublications.com. Order your copy today and wrap yourself in the binds of bitterness with everyone's favorite brewing ingredient, the love of hops.
Tonight is the night.
We bring the creature to life, Dr. Blickmanstein?
Yes, J.P. Gore. Everything is perfect for my next fermented creation.
My doctor, the storm is too far away. We'll never have enough power to isomerize the creature's alpha acid.
Yes, J.P. Gore, we will. For I have in my possession the Tower of Power.
Blickman's new Tower of Power is the evolution of automation. Control hot liquor, sparge, and mash temps like a pro. The Tower of Power is a high-quality gas-fired rim system that works with your current brewing setup. With ultra-precision, the tower can hold your mash to 1/2 of a degree Fahrenheit. Precision and repeatability. The Tower of Power is the answer to automatic, fast ramp times. See more at BlickmanEngineering.com. Bring your next creation to life with the Tower of Power.
Dr. Blickmanstein, with the Tower of Power, you can probably give me an afternoon at the pub to enjoy a pint.
Don't be silly, J.P. Gore. We have beer to brew.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for any beer style. I want a Cicerone. The Cicerone certification program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious, Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
All right, BN Army, it's trivia time. What's the only homebrew shop with over 1,000 recipe kits, $4.99 shipping on orders over $100, and is also home of the Wolf shirt? The one and only answer is Austin Homebrew Supply. For over 20 years, they've specialized in creating recipes such as the best-selling Texas Blonde Ale, Apocalypso, Hop Bomb 2.0, and Double Chocolate Stout. And they just recently unveiled their small grain kits that produce 1 gallon of beer. Visit AustinHomebrew.com to browse their extensive catalog of equipment and ingredients. They also have mini clone recipes of your favorite commercial beers. They're the exclusive retailer of Brew Vent Yeast Fuel as well, Yeast Nutrient, and the all-new Bodybuilder. Follow Austin Homebrew Supply on Google Plus to participate in video hangouts on popular brewing topics. So visit AustinHomebrew.com today and make sure you sign up for their weekly email with news and specials. Austin Homebrew Supply, AustinHomebrew.com.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew strong.
You know, I always drink a little bit more than I think I should when we do these shows.
Well, you know, I think
that you brought me one of my favorite Sierra Nevada beers, the Ruthless Rye.
Yeah, it's a mighty fine beer, and
he opened it for me and everything.
Mm-hmm. But it makes us more relaxed. You know, we don't tense up and
don't pucker up.
Right.
Relax. Let it happen.
Yeah. Like
just let it happen.
Mm-hmm. So even if we get, you know, questions from people that's
like a 3-pager.
Yeah, is it?
No, it's 1 page.
But
from the blind guy?
It's from the blind guy.
Yeah. And, what's the blind guy's name? Blind guy?
Scott Sampson.
Oh, Sampson.
Yeah.
Blind guys love talk radio. As a general rule, all my years in this, the most passionate callers are blind guys. Like you're all I've got.
That's well, I guess.
Then
we're happy
if we are all he's got, then that's really sad.
I mean, it tracks, right? All he's got is his ears,
right? But I mean, he can listen to a lot better stuff than us. I think that's the whole thing.
I had to read this a couple times to find the questions, but
I read it and I thought that it was essentially
kind of reporting on...
Yeah, he was reporting on his success. A while ago, a number of shows ago, Scott had written in a question. I think it came in the chat, maybe. Okay. And he said, I've gone blind, but I still want to brew. I'm just going from memory here.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got any tips for, a blind brewer? And we were like, well, field. we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
We haven't been blind. We only close our eyes when we're having sex. Things like that. So, but he reported back on some of the things like, I think we suggested using feel, stick your finger in there. And he's like, that hurts. Stuff like that. And, just reporting that is still making the effort. He's not giving up. We're wimpy. We would give up. Yeah. Right. I mean, we were just like, that's too hard. I give up. But this guy's not.
Mm-hmm.
And
gotta applaud that.
And, one of his comments I remember was, he's like, well, using like beer goggles wouldn't be enough. You gotta be like totally blindfolded, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
So if we were to experience what he's experiencing.
Right.
And I was thinking, we really should do this.
It would be interesting.
We should do a brew day. It would be interesting.
Because, for instance...
it would be painful.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. But I think we should do it. I think we should.
I'd grab your hand and set it on the kettle. Yeah.
Is the burner on? Yes!
Well, but he does say, he says, tastes, touch, smell, and sounds are huge and become more attenuated. That is, I suppose, more effective and do help. Even the different sounds and the stages of the boil, or when you get
Pay
the most
more
steam.
attention to these things. Yeah, you can probably hear, when wort goes from, just simmering to a boil.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's interesting because I've been teaching my son the fine art of barbecuing, and so I'm standing there with the beer in my hand and pointing
in
at
the
grill.
stick to hit him with.
Yeah.
When he does
I say that the grill cover is closed. I say, you don't keep opening it. You just listen.
You just stand here and drink. Son, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to grill. First you crack a beer.
Yeah.
Then you just
tell your
stand
son
here.
to go over and look at it.
When the fire's coming out of there and it smells burnt, then it's done. You throw it on the plate. Tell Mom to eat it anyways.
Yeah, but I actually do. I listen for the amount of sizzling going on, and I can tell when it's caught fire. It's like that's a different sizzle. Yeah. So then I got to run over there and spray it or whatever. But put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can.
I'm just imagining
empathize with the blind brewing through blind grilling that I kind of do a little bit. It's sight impaired grilling. I don't know.
All right. No, I think we should. I think we should step up to that challenge and see how difficult it is.
Okay.
I think if Scott wants to come out and join us for that and laugh at our injuring ourselves,
that would be fun.
Well, I think that'd be good.
Yeah,
that'd be great to have him out here. All right. Next question.
Okay.
No, did we have any in the chat? We don't have anybody in the chat. People listening live? No.
Not yet. They will be. Hang tight.
We neglected to tweet that we were actually doing something.
Yeah, I'm kind of tweet impaired myself.
Yeah. Me, it requires work. I can't do that. I'm sorry. First wort hopping. Eric asks, I apologize in advance for this two-part question. I'm a huge hop head. I'm always looking for a way to squeeze more hop flavor into my beer. Does first wort hopping offer anything that I can't get from my typical bittering late hop whirlpool hop dry hop schedule? Also, is there a way for an extract brewer to first wort hop? Thanks in advance. Well, certainly you can first wort hop. Just throw them in
the
kettle, and you can just start putting your extract in there, and
yeah,
let it sit there.
It's simply a matter of taking it up from warm to the boil.
Yep,
that whole time. But the part of the question, is he missing any character from not first wort hopping compared to multi step hopping and dry hopping? I really don't think he is. The first I've talked to a lot of brewers that practice first wort hopping and mash hopping, and
they believe it makes a difference.
Yeah, but I guess, and I asked him about that. Was, have you done side by sides or you compare? He goes, no, but I've made the beer and it tastes great.
Right.
And so that's the way I'm making it.
Well, Scott and I were talking about his father's first attempt, and he was telling me, he made his first beer, and I said, and it's the greatest beer he's ever tasted, right? He's like, yep.
That was his first message. This is the best beer I've ever tasted.
Exactly. And, it's the same thing with first wort hopping. You throw it in there, you expect it to taste great, so it does. And, in the blind taste testings that I've done with first wort hopping and mash hopping, all I get is a little bit more bitterness, and that's it.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it was a harsher bitterness. It was kind of, when you boil hops too long, you get that real biting.
The xanthohumol.
Yeah. But, if it makes you happy, go ahead and do it. I really, I'm not a fan, but that's all right. That doesn't mean anything. I don't know what I'm talking about, so.
Right.
All right.
The biting makes you happy.
Yeah, if biting, bite that pillow if it makes you happy. All right. Well, I think looks like time to wrap up, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I think we've hit over an hour.
I've been having so much fun.
I know. Well, if you're having fun, stay tuned.
We'll do some more.
Coming right up, we're going to do another live Q&A show right after this. So go ahead and stay tuned. And if you're listening to the podcast, well, another coming along in 2 weeks. So don't fret. There will be another one. While you're idling your time, check out the Brewing Network store. We've got all sorts of goodies there for you. There's signed books. I think there's Brewing Classic Styles, the greatest brewing book that ever existed, How to Brew.
Thank you.
In its 3rd edition, coming up on its 4th.
I'm going to start working on that.
A water book you're working on. All that stuff is, and Mitch Steele's great IPA book is in the store as well. So check it all out there. Everything you buy in the Brewing Network store goes to the bottom line of the Brewing Network and helps promote shows like this.
That's right.
So check it all out. And until then, brew strong.
Brew strong, everybody.